Hi, I'm Linda Kay Gifford. Welcome back. I'm a survivor of childhood sexual abuse. I am a life coach. I'm not a medical professional. I'm not a counselor, although I am a coach. My experience is personal. Having survived many years of childhood sexual abuse, I have decided, in light of the things going on in the world lately, that I have to speak. I have to tell you my story. I have to lend my voice. I have to be part of sharing something here. I have to be part of the solution. That's where I'm at. And so I spent a lifetime trying to be normal, trying to appear normal. Certain I wasn't normal, certain I never could be normal, certain I was damaged. And only in the last several years, 20 years really, but even more so in the last few years, have I really realized the extent that it has affected who I am, how I am, what I am, how I cope, and my inability to form deep and bonded relationships. I've made a recent breakthrough. You're probably sick of hearing that. Why is it important that I tell you that? I am actually happy in a relationship, that I'm super fulfilled. Why do you need to know that? Because I never thought I would be. And many of you never think you will be or can be. You're so hung up. You're so hung up on your own measuring of yourself, your own inadequacies, that you forget that you are the important one. And where I'm specifically coming to you from, what is very important to me is satisfaction and sexual satisfaction. And there's a reason for that. I was messaged some horrifying things, but I will spare you. About what my intentions must be in sharing my story with you, and in being openly an advocate for women's sexuality and women's happiness and sexual fulfillment. It's because, having been a survivor of many, many years of childhood sexual abuse, I was also sexualized early. I also have feelings because I'm a human being. This is the difference, as I said the last one. I'll just do a little refresher to where I'm building off of here. Briefly mentioned in the last live stream yesterday, our last meeting, I like to call them live streams, not live streams. And from now, let's just call them meetings, because we're going to meet here 5 days a week and talk about whatever's going on, and what the triggers are today and in general. Hey, you, go away. Adult content only. Yeah, I don't even let my son watch my own live streams, naturally. Well, he's 16 now, so I guess that choice will be his. Not ashamed. That's a big part of my thing, not being ashamed. Of course, I still feel the shame because these things are inherent. It's body memory, it's emotional memory. And I guess that's why God made, or people made, affirmations, because affirmations do help. And that's why we get together every day here. And that's why having a life coach is not a shameful thing. I have a therapist. I couldn't help you if she wasn't helping me. And I've spent some time away lately, and I need to get back to her. Because the triggers are everywhere. They are. And right now, for me, I feel like I've spent a lifetime just trying to be normal, trying to be what everybody else thinks. You assume everybody's normal. I get on here and I start talking about my stuff because I had a blackout. I started writing this book, whatever. And I get messages from people from my hometown, people I've known, people my whole life, from all walks in every part of my life and everywhere I've ever been, messaging me too. I could quote the hashtag, me too. And everyone hid their stories because we were taught that we were lesser now. We were the bad guys. We were damaged. And no one had to say that to us. It was taught to us everywhere around. Everywhere in the media, everywhere in the go get a man, be hot and sexy, and then be demure. I mean, what, you're supposed to walk lines that are impossible to walk. I mean, the adage, we want a lady on the street and a whore in the bedroom, you know? These are things we all know. I mean, you can't walk through Bergner's without seeing thongs for 12-year-olds. Is that something you get your daughter? Because they are for sale. And I find that surprising. I have 3 sons, so I didn't have to deal with that. But right now, I'm like, I couldn't sleep last night. I've been up since before 4 this morning. I just got to work because I'm just so disturbed the last few days over the kidnapping of these 317 girls in Nigeria. And the fact that we don't do anything about it. Entire schools of girls are, these girls were pulled out of school, rounded up, herded through the streets, and loaded like animals. And they will be bought, and they will be sold, and they will be raped. And that's it. The 276 from 2014, I didn't look that up, but I have a pretty good mind for numbers. I'm going to say Boko Haram, 2014, over 100 of those girls were never what they call recovered. Recovered. Again, their property. Recovered. Why doesn't my government and everybody else, why doesn't NATO go in and find these girls? Why are women so unimportant? If a plane went down, the whole goddamn world would be searching for those probably dead people. We've got another 317 girls. That makes thousands of stolen girls in Africa and elsewhere, many of whom will never be recovered. Do you know what's going on? Those aren't numbers. Those are human beings. They are being raped and tortured and gang raped and sold and beaten every day. Many of them every hour of every day, according to survivor stories. So why aren't we in there getting them out? I'm sorry. This is why I'm on here. No, I'm not okay. I'll never be okay. But I have a good life, and I have fought for it, and I will fight for every woman to get to where I have gotten to. Yeah, I was never stolen from a school, but I was enslaved nonetheless, and many of us are, and that's where I come in. I gotta get my shit together here. It's just so upsetting. It's just so upsetting. But back to where maybe we can help each other. You can help me, and I can help you. Jesus Christ. So the similarities are that those of us who, I kind of say this every time, but it's kind of important every time to qualify. that I wasn't thrown down and violent. I was actually violently raped and sodomized when I was 14 years old. That was my first actual penetration experience. And as soon as my brother-in-law found out that his friend beat him to me on that level, then it started intensely, and then I never knew any peace until I got out. And there's a long story to that, and I'm going to tell it. And I'm going to court, and I'm suing. So we have a lot going on. Whew, but where we can help each other right now is, let's get together and share these experiences. I'm going to start setting this up. I'm just kind of getting used to doing this. I haven't really done any inviting or things. I want to start becoming interactive more. I interact with people regularly as a coach and one-on-one and through my group and in messaging. People are too scared to join my group, but they message me because they don't want anyone to see that they're a member of the group. That's how deep the shame lies. I have a bunch of people I message with regularly and I coach, and they won't even put their name on the group because they're afraid of the kickback, And it will be there, but it shouldn't be. So right now I'm calling on all women and all people, but especially women, because, we teach men what we will take and what we will not. If you keep accepting, if these Republican women keep conservative /lunatic/Republican/moron, they're all kind of interchangeable now. Yeah, I'm going there. If you don't like it, unfriend me. This is the real world, and it is a world where everybody deserves to be their authentic selves. Earlier today, that reminds me, I was watching a woman's story. She was an evangelical minister in the South, and she had a child who was born with a penis but identified as a girl. And by the time when that child was 4 years old, she heard her son praying to Jesus to please come take him home with him. And at that time, she knew they had to get out. Within 2 weeks, she moved her family out of a rural Texas community to Austin. This was on, I believe it's Now Politics. You can get it on Facebook if you want to watch it. And it's very moving show. She went into it kicking and screaming and realized if your child looks at you with a penis and says, I am a girl, I am a girl, or a vagina and says, I am a boy, I know this, then guess what? Do you want to torture them for life? Do you want to be accepting of the fact that we come in all kinds of interesting packages? I think it's fascinating. I can't even imagine the world without our LGBTQIA community, I've even felt guilty that I am not attracted to women because I'm open-minded. I understand that we just have, that just adds to my understanding that we have our own individual orientations. I've always said maybe I just never met the right woman. I'm keeping an open mind, But that being said, I'm happily in a relationship, and it's truly changing my life, and I can't hide that fact. Basically the whole, it changed my whole trajectory even to realize that I was capable of the kind of interactions that I'm having now. It takes a special person, but it also took me coming to a place and telling myself, I'm going to get there. I'm going to change. I'm going to be okay. I'm going to have a good life. I'm not going to be ashamed that I like sex anymore. I'm going to change the hearts of people. I'm going to change the laws, the society. I'm going to be active. These things give me power. So I am on here not for you, but for me. I am on here because I am empowering myself in my everyday journey to, as my book title says, my continuing efforts to survive childhood sexual abuse, because there's no graduation day for survivors. It is what it is. So right now, we need to become advocates for each other. We need to tell our stories. You need to be straight up. Come on here. Do it. You need talking to? Talk to me. Message me. In any case, this is my life's work. Someone asked me, what do you hope to accomplish? What do you think you're accomplishing? You know what? Again, I'm saving myself. I'm saving I feel I'm trying to make a difference in the world. And I will advocate and I will raise money. And I do so in many ways. I do so with my store, feelgoodfairtrade.com. It buys from women artisans from all over the world. I do so with my rescue fund, Sweet Survivor Rescue Fund, which is just getting started, and I need your help. I need you. Go. Support it. Can you spare $1? $5? Seriously? Seriously? I'm going to take names, and I'm going to reward you with giveaways and stuff from my store. Please help us provide transportation for women and men, people who are victims right now who need it, people in crisis. That's what the Sweet Survivor Rescue Fund is for. It's to provide a missing link right now. We have hotlines. We have safe houses. We have a few people you see on Facebook. Oh, the Navy SEALs are going. That's awesome. Ashton Kushner, he's a great advocate. Yay, thank you. I appreciate that. We need money for transportation, and we need it now. So I started a GoFundMe page called Sweet Survivor Rescue Fund, and I also started a Facebook page called Sweet Survivor Rescue Fund, and you can give a little or a lot, but please give something. I donate $5 a month to all kinds of different organizations, especially political candidates, which I also want to say, you need to keep a watch. Right now, I know it's hard. Everybody's got busy lives. I have another page called thosenastywomen.com, which is also part of my business. I bought it recently. We are about to launch. I was supposed to yesterday, but I'm slow. It's taking a little bit longer to launch a custom print business that will sell as a collection on my store, feelgoodfairtrade.com. And it is specifically for Electoral College reform and for In Citizens United, so that companies, corporations cannot donate billions of dollars as if they're individuals. And other organizations as we see fit that we need to secure free and fair elections. So all that being said, I'm out of breath. I'm going to go back to the top. I'm going to go back to the top of this and say, demand that our government and world governments and world governmental organizations like NATO get involved in rescuing these girls. These kidnapped, actually boys have also been kidnapped, but they were returned. Girls were fuckable. They're sellable and they're fuckable. They're commodities. They're bought and they're sold and they're traded. That has to end. Donate to the Sweet Survivor Rescue Fund, please. And I will see you here tomorrow at 3. I'm going to keep these shorter because we're going to do this every day, 5 days a week. Whatever you want to talk about, message it to me through Linda Kay Gifford self-talk page, and we'll include it. You want to come on screen? Fine. Tell me ahead of time, or just pop in and message me in the comments, okay? And take the pledge. Take the pledge, okay? Let's remember the pledge. The pledge, I haven't memorized it myself because I wrote it relatively recently, I think January 24th. Shame belongs to the abuser, not you, okay? Remember these 3 things. Shame belongs to the abuser, not you. I'm about to go off on another 10-minute rant here, but I'm not going to do that. Okay. The second part of the pledge, which we should dive into just a little more deeply, is you need to uncouple. You probably don't even know you do it, but I'm thinking you do because I do and other people I've talked to do. It seems to be a thread I'm coming on to. When I realized that one of the things that inhibits me from having orgasms with human partners is that at the point that I'm feeling sexually stimulated and happy, I also feel shame and guilt. At that point, I just want to get it over with. At that point, I'm tempted to go away and kind of disappear into what turns into a frenzy of getting it over with. Used to, not anymore, because like I said, I finally graduated into an amazing relationship, and I want you to have that ability too. So as I've said before, and I'm going to say it again, as much as I'd like to say that my partner's brilliant and wonderful, and he is, it was me probably that created a lot of the drawbacks in my past relationships, because I was incapable of letting go on that physical and emotional level. And now that I am, it's so wonderful that I want you to know it too. I want you to realize where you're having difficulties, and I want you to be satisfied. So I'm like, that's important to me. And I think it should be important to you, because there's no better stress relief than a good O, I'm telling you. So on that note, please join me here tomorrow at 3 o'clock. All right. Well, if Joe Biden talks every day at 3, we're going to move it. I need to watch. I'm not actually sure. Is this an everyday thing at 3? So it might be 4. 3 or 4 tomorrow. Bye. And support the Sweet Survivor Rescue Fund at GoFundMe or Facebook pages. Please, please, right now. Please, whatever you can give. Thanks.